Hello and welcome back to the Mole Valley Maker Show channel, whatever. Coconut, yeah. So also known, I think, as red palm. So I've turned black palm. I've never turned red palm, coconut. We will see. Closed end brass tube drilled into a dead end. So I'm just gonna. This is also partly going to be showing you how I deal with that kind of thing. So could be a pen. This is actually going to be a thread ripper. So it's been drilled. It's had the brass tube put into the end, and we've had the barrel trimmer on it to get the brass tube flush. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this round so it should be concentric with the tube, hopefully. Then I'll flip it round and I will turn the dead end down to its finished diameter, and then I will probably mount that back onto a some form of mandrel with the correct bushing for the end of this in, and support that with a cone centre. But you'll see all that. So let's just crack on and do the turning. So just like black palm, this stuff is very catchy and teary, and I did sharpen this before I started. I'm going to sharpen it again. So what happened there was I actually wasn't riding the Breville on this side. I had it twisted like this, and then it caught and obviously spiraled back, but no problem. We'll keep going. That was 2 grits, 240, 320. Clean that with a bit of alcohol. Toothbrush just to clean out the grooves. And then some cellulose sanding sealer, which hasn't been used for a few weeks, and I might need to get the pliers on that to open it. just dries it a little bit quicker. And some carnauba wax. Right, I'll just set up and I'll come back to you for the next stage. Okie dokie, let me just zoom out a little bit. So, what we've got, the setup we got is we've got the Axminster, I think they call it the mini chuck, but it's a collet chuck. So you've got ER32 collets in there, something like that. And I've got a spare centre from a pen mandrel. That's the correct bushing, which we can push over there. And then I've got a custom made tailstock. This is on this end is a rotating a life centre with a 3/4 by 16 TPI. I think that comes from RDG Tools in the UK. And then I've got some 3/4 inch by 16 TPI nuts, glued them in. I have an M32 to 3/4 inch adapter, so I can screw them onto the headstock, shape them into whatever shape I want them to be. I've got a number of different ones. Here's one that I haven't actually done anything with it. It's just, you can see the nut screwed, glued in there. And that's reasonably central, certainly central enough so that I can screw this, take this down with the skew, get the end to the right diameter. I've just checked the diameter of the bushing against the thread ripper. So that's the thread ripper. I think this is thread ripper end, and this can go in either ends. Now the bushing is quite a bit smaller than here, but you can see it's quite rounded, so you know, if I don't get down exactly onto that, I think it will still look okay, and my inclination will be to sort of round it over anyway. But let's see how we go. Alright, smaller tool rest. Nice and simple. I like that a lot. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera off for the sanding this time, but it'll be exactly the same as I did before, and I'll come back to you with a finished article. Okay, so that's the finished article. I'm not sure if I said this or not. So the original kit is one that is a bit like a pen basically, so the tube would be open and you'd have a pen clip on it. But you know, I sometimes turn slimline pens down closed like this because it makes them, in my opinion, look a lot classier. So the way this works is that's your ripper and that comes out, twist around, and hopefully you can get the purchase you want on there. So that now is quite unique. I think, you know, it could also be, you know, you could get a spare tube and turn another end to go on there, but at least that's safe. In the kits you get the seam ripper and you get a stiletto, which I think is just a point. So I bought an extra tube per each so that I could then effectively try and do a matching pair, but so that the user knows which one, I will put a different number of rings or a different pattern of rings, something like that, to distinguish the two. Obviously you could turn them in different timbers as well. There is one other seam ripper kit I bought which actually is longer tube, so that it basically could then be turned just as a simple tube, and you can store the stiletto in one end and the seam ripper in the other. And those are the kits from Pen Kits Mal. So I can't put a link in the description actually, because Pen Kits Mal is a website you have to have a login to actually see any of the items, but what I'll do is I'll put the part number, and then anyone with a login can then actually, it is a safe site to register. I've never had any spam because of it, at least not that I directly know. So thank you very much for watching.